Hey everyone, welcome back to another Suzero YouTube video. You join me on another Suzero Success Story video today with an amazing guest. Now, he's the CEO of a huge brand that you may have heard of called Coconut Merchant. He is a wonderful chap. He's moved from being a lawyer to working for the UN to now his current role as a CEO of Coconut Merchant and growing the brand hugely into a massively successful brand that it now is. So I hope you really enjoy the conversation. I hope you can take something from it. I hope you can learn lots. If you do like the video, please make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below any of the lessons that you learn on today's video.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Suzero Success Story. Today I'm joined by someone with loads and loads of energy. So after ditching his job as a lawyer to work for the UN, he joined Coconut Merchant as CEO with the mission to share high quality, ethically sourced products which are produced, packed and delivered with love. Coconut Merchant has been a huge success and is continuing to grow rapidly. Welcome to Suzero Success Stories, Al Shariat. Whoop, whoop.
Thanks for having me, Sam.
No, thank you. Well, yeah, I mean, there's no audience today, so no one's going to be like going mad or anything in the background. It's just us, unfortunately. How are you finding the lockdown?
Pretty good. It's just been smashing out hours and hours of work, actually.
Yeah.
So, go literally from bed to thing, and then force, like, you got to try and get some steps in during the day. So
Yeah.
get out, do some exercise.
That's it. It's good fun. And all of your team, so you're all working remotely and like jumping on Zoom calls like this, I assume, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. We have our morning scrum, and then we do every now and then we do like a team kind of like pub quiz. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. All right, we might need to introduce that with the Suzero lot. That would be quite fun, actually. I might pose that forward. So, right, well, before we dive into like Coconut Merchant and talking everything kind of coconuts, I would love to know more about the role of the UN. I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but like, how did it come about? Like, what was your role? What, talk me through it.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to help other people. That's like my life's ambition is basically, I want the fruit of my life's work to be in economic development and to help make the world a better place. We all want this, but that was like, this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I was working as a lawyer in New Zealand, and this is 2009 during the financial crisis.
Okay.
So I was in a litigation team, and all our clients were big banks. So if you didn't pay your rent or your mortgage, say, my job was to help the bank sell your house, and I hated it.
That's pretty serious.
It's pretty serious, yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. I didn't get into law for this, so I'm gonna leave. And so sent an email to the UN. I'm originally from Iran, so I went messaged the UN in Iran, and I said, hey guys, this is me. Here's my skills.
Yeah.
Do you want some help? Can I help in any way? And they were like, email through you should apply through the proper channels.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Don't cold call us.
Yeah, exactly. So we did it through the proper route.
Yeah.
Did an interview, and like the hours are way different. So I was like up at 1 a.m. doing interviews and chatting. But it was cool. And then 6 months later, I was in Iran working as a communications intern. So I started off there, and they sent me on this mission to write a report on this microfinance project on the border of Afghanistan. So it's like a villages out there. It's also like a major route for all kinds of stuff down there. So anyway, so I was down there, and I love microfinance. So I wrote like this 30-page report on top of my normal report about how the project could be improved. And I was like, here you go, here's report for you for free. And they're like, actually, this is kind of cool. Can you do this for the rest of our projects? So then that became my job. So my job was a monitoring and evaluations consultant. I would go to the different projects, review them, give recommendations on how they could be improved, submit them in, and yeah, that was the UN.
That's cool. And then, so at what point did you shift? Like, so you mentioned that, you came on board as CEO and Coconut Merchant was there in the, previously. How how did you transition into that role? That's a story in
Yeah,
itself, I feel.
yeah, exactly. So the UN is amazing. It
Yeah.
can do a lot of good, but I felt like my contribution wasn't quite what I wanted it to be. And I
Okay.
think this is just like a inherent nature of young people when I was younger. But
I
like
come off it.
in like that age, it was like 24, 25, where you're kind of impatient. Like you want
Yeah.
your stuff to be doing it right there, and you want to feel the rewards of it, which is something I matured from. But basically, I was like, this isn't quite where I need to be. So I
Mm.
moved to the UK, did a master's degree at King's College, and then um, I was like, what I'll do is I'll work as a project manager,
Yeah.
economic consulting firm, and while I was working I had different jobs as project managers and consultant
Right.
in the UK. But then I met my now business partner Sean, and so Sean he'd been importing. He's got another very successful company which does South Asian food,
Okay.
spices from around the world into the UK and Europe.
Cool.
And basically he'd been bringing coconut products in, but then when they became cool, he was like, well, he created a coconut merchant, but he didn't have time to run it.
Okay.
And then he was like, I need someone else who can help. And so that's where I came in. So for me, it was like an avenue to help farmers, because
Yeah.
the idea was we buy as close to farmers as possible, and then we send them out with love. And so it was kind of a meeting of two great ambitions together. And so that's how the partnership started. Yeah.
So when you started, because I mean I've seen the range that you have now, and it's like everything from oils
Yeah.
to drinks. I mean, we were just talking beforehand about how many containers of like
Yeah.
coconut water you have. So it's mad. Like when you started, was it like just oils, or was it like
Yeah.
actual like shredded coconut? What was there when you started?
So we only had 5 products at the beginning:
Okay.
coconut oil, butter, flakes, and water.
Yep.
Um, there's 2 types of flakes, so if you did the maths, there's actually 4, but 2 types of flakes. So
Yep.
there's 5 products.
Okay.
Um, and so that's kind of how we started. And then as time passed, either through customer feedback, or just watching the market and seeing where things are going, or talking to our farmers. So one of the big things is we try and collaborate with the farmers. So if they can produce something,
Yeah.
we can find an avenue to sell it. Then we
Okay.
can also produce it. So we'll
Cool.
buy it off them and go. So our range has expanded. So we now went from 5 to the world's largest range of coconut products. So if it's coconut and ambient, we will probably have it. We'll probably have stuff that you haven't heard of. Well, and yeah, so whether it's soy sauce made from coconut, vinegar made from coconut, spreads, jams.
I was gonna say, I thought I saw jams, and I was like, "Hey, how does that
Yeah,
work?" Like,
yeah. It was great, and so we actually got a whole new set of products coming out as well. So there's always more. Most recently, we've developed something really exciting. It's an alternative to rice that's coming out, which is
okay,
cool. So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
that sounds exciting. You're dropping all the hints now. I need you to try some of our bars then, because we use coconut obviously in our bars. So
Oh mate, yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
you can. I mean, you're the coconut king, so you need to, see whether it's any good. That's interesting. And you mentioned the farmers. Where are they? I mean, are they based all around the world, or is there a specific
Yeah.
location that's best for the coconuts? How does that work?
So currently we're buying from 5 countries. We've got Sri Lanka, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia. We've got
Cool.
another one coming online very soon, potentially in Myanmar or Burma. So that's
Wow.
the next one. So we try and get as close as we can to the farmers.
Yeah.
Idea is if they already have a cooperative, like in Indonesia, they're already in cooperative, so we just partner with the cooperative.
Yeah.
Or if they're not, then we will try and help them develop a cooperative and kind of group together.
That's cool.
Yeah, some products you can't do that for, some things you can.
Yeah.
So there are products where it's just not possible because of the production requirements, but we still try and look after farmers where we can as well.
That's cool. Okay. And then when you started, you went on board with Shana and you started this brand, you had these 5 products. where were they selling? Was it just like local?
Yeah.
Talk me through, because I've been out, we've done the field sales, we've walked into like cafes and
True.
gyms and been
That's
like, oh, you really love these bars, I promise you, and they maybe buy 1 or 2 boxes. Like,
yeah.
is that the same story for yourself, or how did it like?
Yeah.
How does it?
How does it grow? So we actually took a slightly different route.
Okay.
So for us and for anyone, and I'm sure everyone watching, if you try to start a brand, that's the big headache. You're like, oh, cool, I'll just call Tesco, and yeah, they'll tomorrow, sweet. It's all good. But essentially, if you're trying to get a product to a shelf, you need to convince the person buying it that someone's going to pick it off the shelf. So I kind of think of it as 2 teams: on shelf and off shelf. So you're got to get it on the shelf, and then you got to get it off the shelf, buy it into a customer's hands. So what we thought was, coconut at the time, this is late 2014. It wasn't that cool. It wasn't as much in vogue as it is now. So we it was a little bit harder. So we thought, okay, what's our strength? And I'd read The Art of War by Sun Tzu. It's this awesome book. It's a advice for military generals, but it's used heavily in marketing and business. So one of the principles of it is to fight in where you're strong and in your area of strength. And so I was like, okay, well, online, the smallest company can be as big as the Coca-Cola.
Love that.
So we were like, okay, cool, that's where we're going to go. And so we started on Amazon. That was one of our earliest routes to market. And I actually remember our first order took me like ages. First order, I was like, yes, first order's here, woohoo! We're on our way. And then like 2 hours later, she cancelled the order.
Oh man.
Oh man. But I thought of it as like, it's kind of like when you go fishing, you throw the first one back. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But then we grew, and we expanded, became number 1 in the category. And then Amazon started buying from us, and we just grew from there. And then we kind of a little hack. If you do get on Amazon, try get to number 1 in your category, and then call up a buyer. And while you're doing it, update buyers about your journey. So which is what I was doing. So I was like, hey, we're on the first page now. Oh, we're in the top 5. Oh, we're top 3. Oh, by the way, we're the top in our category. And then at that point, I was calling Selfridges at the time. And she was like, okay, cool, come in for a chat. So you can leverage that, and then we leveraged that to get retail listings, and we grew. We got Tesco, Asda now, Sainsbury's, and other places.
That's amazing. Like that's the dream. As I can talk about as someone like growing up and our brand growing as well. Like that is the dream, and to hear that's amazing. And so has the team grown with you with that? How many people are there now in the team?
Yeah, we're in our ecosystem. There's about 25 to 30 people.
Okay.
But directly in-house, when we're in the office together, because we have a warehouse team.
Yeah.
Not like a lot of brands will probably use a third-party logistics team for theirs. We have our own warehouse.
Cool.
We've got a warehouse team. We've got field sales team that we use. But in the office together, there's like a core group of like 5 of us, 5, 6 of us.
That's
so
cool.
we're pretty tight. It's quite cool.
That's good. That definitely helps with that, the brand and that family element, and all operating together and working together. That's really cool. Okay, well, I'm gonna strip it back a layer now, and I'm gonna ask, because you already mentioned though, you love helping people out and making people better. What did you want to be when you were growing up?
So initially, I wanted to be a vet, but I was like, I was super young.
A vet? Okay.
Yeah, I got a job at a vet clinic when I was 11, and I was like, cool. And then I worked at a zoo.
11?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, don't sit idle. So I just kind of like, cool. I want to be a vet.
That's crazy.
I work at a vet clinic, and these guys were like, my job was literally just to like feed them and like clean their food.
Yeah.
That was I was like, cool, I'll take it.
That's pretty cool.
And then eventually I was kind of like a junior nurse. I was helping with the operations and that kind of stuff. And then got a job at the zoo and all that kind of stuff, and that was awesome. And then a whole lot of things happened. September 11 happened. A whole lot of things. I was like, cool, I want to contribute more than that. And and then made a move towards politics and law and economics and diplomacy and in the UN.
That's crazy. And did you have like role models like growing up through that? Like, was there a family member who was interested in veterinary, or was that just like a personal decision?
No, it was just me. I mean, I've got families who like it, but there will
Yeah.
be season time. But I think for me, it was more just like you just hunt out and find a role model. So I was like,
Yeah.
go work at a vet clinic. Oh yeah, you're my vet. I'll come work for you, and then
Yeah.
just try and find people to help you through it.
Yeah, that's a crazy story. And like the transitioning. And have you found like many like the skills are transferable between that, in terms of like obviously now, you have a huge customer base and wanting to look after those people and wanting them to improve. They do that like through, the products that you have because they're obviously healthy. We know that. But how do you, especially when you're selling online, how do you connect with those customers like in a deeper way to build that relationship? Because that's something we found, especially selling online, is when you actually, message people and talk to them and you know what they want and you can build that relationship, that is, not only is it more fun, but it's more rewarding, I think, in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, so for us, how would I say it? So like in terms of like the skills, one of the things that helped was being a generalist. So I'd had loads of different jobs, so many different jobs, that when you start, you kind of need to be an element of a generalist. So that way you can kind of cover most of the places until you find someone who's better than you to take your spot.
I agree.
So being a generalist, definitely a big help. And then to communicate and connect in with customers has been a big thing because, especially online, because when you're online, you only get a limited sense of perceiving who the brand is.
Yeah.
Especially if you're buying something like Amazon or a website, but it's particularly on Amazon. So there's lots of little things that we do that I like to call surprise and delight the customer.
Cool.
And that's really important. So there's a lot of opportunity to kind of like beat expectations, to do something greater than what you initially think.
Yeah.
Or what that they expect.
Yeah.
And that's really important. And then if you buy from our website, you'll get a note. Okay, maybe not in Corona time because literally because our printer broke.
Yeah. That's fine.
But you will get a note from us. So someone in the team will write you a note.
Love that.
Because we want to thank you for spending your money with us and and supporting us in our mission. So
I love that. And that, I mean, talking about that mission, we can go on that point actually as well, because I noticed, I was on the website earlier and I noticed £2 from every litre, right, goes back to the farmers. How does that work? And explain like what kind of impact that's made? Yeah,
so I mean, since we started, we've sold nearly 1 million litres of coconut. What? And it's just a lot. So you go good swim on it.
Wow.
But because we work with farmers and we basically pay more than what other brands would pay because we are buying directly from the farmer. We cut out agents, we cut out middlemen. We're buying directly from the farmer, so the farmer gets a better price. It's actually like over £1 more than what they normally get.
Wow. Okay. That's
and
big.
So we can also control the quality. We can look at the environment a bit more, and we can support them. So if they're using certain practices that may not be the best or be more efficient, we will support them and try and help them with that. But what that also means is that thanks to customers, people who've bought our coconut oil, that 1 million litres translates to £2 million of income to farmers that wouldn't have been there before. And it just comes from, and that's just from one of our lines. We've got over 30 lines. So it's actually a thank you to customers.
That is crazy when you put it like that, and the 1 million litres and then £2 million. I mean, that's staggering. So, and that makes, a big impact, I imagine, to the farmers like straight away.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's something that's, for example, with that money, basically, that's like investment. So, for example, put it in context. In Indonesia, we buy our coconut sugar from a cooperative there.
Okay.
And there's actually 2 levels of support as well. I mean, one is the farmer itself, and the other level is the kitchen that produces, or the mill that produces the oil. So from Indonesia, the kitchen that produces some of our sugar there, they, when I went to visit them, their daughter was in university. So what that means though is, if you just to kind of clarify that, is that means that one, in places where, in contexts where women aren't often invested in and given the opportunity to go to university, she's off at university. When she finishes, most likely she will somehow contribute back to her community in the sense of whether it's direct income or her skills or something. And so by working with us, we're able to give people certainty of income. And that's actually like one of my biggest lessons from like the UN and everything else has been what people are after is certainty of income, because with that, then they can say, right, so I can invest in housing, education, security, all the things that people worry about. They know that that's taken care of because we're there to keep buying the coconuts from them regularly. So that's to be, and that's what I really love about it, because there's a place for aid and there's a place to give people charity, absolutely. But I think long-term growth will come from trade, and so it's trade, not just aid, and that's how we can achieve kind of global development and everyone can grow together, is by trading in a fair way where both parties can benefit.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that passion, I mean, it's so blindingly obvious as you speak about that is what drives you, and that's you know, your why, and that really pushes you forward. So I love that. I think that's amazing. I mean, you've mentioned the art of war. Are you a bit of a reader as well? Because I mean, like the principles there.
I do. I read a lot. I mean, because I didn't study this stuff, right? So I'm doing every day. I didn't study it. I studied economic development. Right. But basically, I just power through audiobooks. So like, you know, whether it's like Seth Godin, like or anything, I'm like, oh, cool, okay, great, just get that on Audible. And then when the tube is running and when you're catching the tube, normal circumstances pre-COVID, I would kind of like, as I'm commuting in, I'm just like smashing through books.
I love that. And is that like, so that's part of the routine? Do you have any other like routine rituals? Like what is you know, you're running this huge business now, you know, you're contributing to all these, you know, in an amazing way to all these people. What does the morning look like? Like, how do you set up your day? Those kind of things.
Morning is really important. So I think wake up early. It kind of goes without saying, but definitely no social media. I actually avoid social media, and I'm very grateful for that.
So powerful.
Our team, Julia, takes care of all of that stuff. So thank you to Julia. But so wake up in the morning, get some exercise in, plan out my day, set my daily intentions. So these are my intentions. Something I've been working on recently is actually like mapping into sentences. So today I will, and writing it from either two perspectives, from what I've finished, so you can manifest what's going to come, and you can go back to it, and or the other way around, and then just very militantly control my calendar.
Cool. Okay, that's a great routine. I mean, over this, and have you kept that up during the lockdown period, or has that kind of?
Oh, absolutely. Like I think it's actually like doubled down into it because it's so important. Cool. Things have been so busy, so literally like I'm just like clocking in things into the calendar, getting up early, and trying to smash through as much as I can.
Yeah, I'm a massive early riser, and I think it's actually sat here next to me. If you haven't read it or you haven't had the audio book, the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. Have a read or a listen of that. It is honestly, it is an amazing book, and it outlined everything. And I've been, I think I'm like 14, 15 days now into 5 a.m. like sunrises, and it's brilliant here. So I can definitely recommend that, and getting up early is killer. So that's a good top tip, I think, for anyone, kind of whether it's, you know, you're running your own business or trying to do your own thing, you know, just getting up early and really setting out what you want in the day, and those intentions is so key.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that. And then anyone who's, you know, in this part, I'd love to know more about when you've kind of gone through this journey, what lessons have you learned, and what wisdom would you kind of pass on to anyone else, you know, setting up a business or, you know, wanting to follow a passion as you're doing?
Yeah, I think one, well done, because it's super awesome. It's difficult, and it's gutsy, and it's risky to kind of like jump off the conventional path. Like, you know, I think back as a lawyer, if I just literally everyone who I went to law, a lot of the guys I went to law school now are all becoming partners, right? So if I'd stayed in that conventional thing, sweet, be a partner, live a great life, all good. But I think so lesson would be one, well done, pat yourself on the back, or just know that you're doing something that is difficult, and don't, you know, prepare for that. Two, get ready to work hard. This is not easy. There's a lot of hard work, a lot of hours. It's some aspects of it are thankless. So definitely work hard, but also find joy and find your purpose in it, and see for yourself kind of like, why am I doing this, and what's the why, and the why that exists for you will probably translate through to the company. So your why will become the company's why. So mine is, to try and make a difference and to contribute. And Coconut Merchant's why is business can be a force for good. That's what we believe.
Yeah.
And so it kind of just translates, and the business, you become the business becomes you. So
boom, there's the advice. That is the $1 million advice. I love that. Okay. Well, I know you're busy and it's a Friday afternoon, so I'm sure you're going to jump on a Zoom call with your team and stuff. So I like to finish like all of these videos and with 3 key questions. Now, I'm not sure if you saw them beforehand. Did you? Oh, you did? Okay, cool. So you might be a little bit prepared. First one, what's been your biggest failure?
Well, I was going to say, can we flip it in reverse then? And
okay.
If I answer them in reverse.
Yeah, gotcha.
So 3 questions in reverse order. So
it was first was the wisdom. Okay, so we're flipping it. It's what lesson or piece of wisdom would you like everyone to know?
Business can be a force for good. Your business can do well, and you can benefit, and so can everyone in the product in the chain. And Coconut Merchant's an example of that.
Absolutely spot on. That's the best answer we've had so far. I mean, this is only the second one we filmed, but I'll give you that title already. Okay, second one. What's been your biggest success so far?
So that £2 million to farmers and that financial contribution we're giving, I have to say personally means a lot.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, and then as you know, the last one is what's been your biggest failure?
And the biggest failure has not been able to give more. Like we haven't, like there's so much more I wanted to give, and like if we got that listing, or if this had happened, I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
could have done a bit more. But hey, the fight goes on.
Yeah, but look, I can tell from your passion that it's just going to carry on growing. You're going to carry on pushing it. And yeah, look, this has been amazing. And it's inspiring for me to hear someone who's gone through that journey and is pushing so hard. And also someone who's transitioned maybe out of a different field, as I know personally I've done, to then just go and follow that passion. I think it's amazing. So where can everyone find your products or kind of hit you up on social media?
So at Coconut Merchant, that's us on Instagram. Come and find us. If you want our products, jump on our website, www.coconut-merchant.com, or on Amazon or Tesco, Ocado, Amazon, Asda. Find us in a few places. Give us a shout.
There you go, everyone. That is it. Go and check Coconut Merchant out. As you heard Al say, you are doing more than just buying a product. You're helping these farmers. You're sending people to university, and that makes a huge difference. And when you have a brand that is built on that, that's the kind of brand you want to be involved with. So Al, thank you very much, mate. It's been great to chat. And everyone else, please like and subscribe this video, and we will see you again soon.
My love.
There you go, guys. You have it. Another Suzero success story. Ow, what an amazing guy. I mean, what a journey, from being a lawyer, working with the UN, to then growing Coconut Merchant into the brand it is today. I think that he shared some seriously good lessons there for anyone who's starting out, or anyone who just wants to try and make a difference and improve. And for those of you who do care about, partnering and working with brands or buying products from brands that make a big impact, Coconut Merchant is a great example of that. Now, I want to make sure that obviously the Suzero online store is still open, even though that we are down in lockdown. We have some amazing kind of deals and offers going on, so please go and check that out. And if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, all of those amazing things, and we will see you again very soon.